all those promos were announced right around the same time as the Sox were relaunching SoxFest as SoxFest Live. Yeah.
First time since the pandemic that SoxFest has returned. Apparently, the White Sox just deemed the world safe enough this year to be able to reconvene. Uh, it's a brand new theme. The live part, I guess I didn't fully understand that. I don't even remember where your Sox Fest were before. But is there live bands? Is that
Yeah,
the idea?
there
Or
were live bands there, yeah.
okay,
And I don't know if you guys remember, for those of you who are regular listeners or viewers on YouTube, I lost my shit last episode about how I had read that they were going to have they were going to celebrate the World Series team and have people from the World Series team present. And I got the list here, and I went through the list of invitees, and
yeah,
it was like awful. But
yeah, it was a bunch of new players
yeah,
that it could be interesting, but it had nothing to do with 2005. I know Mark Burley was there. Did they add to
yeah,
the
yeah.
list?
So yeah, Freddie Garcia was there, Pasednik. So
Sweaty
they brought
Freddy. Wow.
yeah, so they brought in. They did finally make good, very close to maybe a week out of when it was gonna be happening. They announced that those persons were attending. So
But
interesting
still, they
enough.
three of the entire roster from
Oh
that year
no,
is
you
all
know
they
what?
got,
I
or
thought I had the list. I apologize, everyone. I thought I
I
had the
didn't.
list
I thought
here.
I saw the list, and it still wasn't that big. It
It
wasn't
was
much
like
more than
it was
three.
about eight
Oh, was
people.
it that many? Okay,
Yeah,
maybe I missed it.
yeah. But anyway, at the end of the day, I didn't see a lot of coverage on it. It didn't get a ton of coverage, but I went to fellow bloggers' websites, Sox Machine
Gotta go to
and
Sox Machine.
and Sockside Fan, and they had some pretty positive things to say about it overall. They said it was spaced out correctly. They both Sockside Fan had bought the MVP tickets, and it sounded like it was really worth it because by getting the MVP tickets, you were able to personally have a set time to get pictures with players and stuff like that. So
Oh, that's pretty cool.
they had some cool pictures posted of with Mark Burley and Freddie Garcia, and then um, uh, new manager Will Venable, who they said they met at a special cocktail hour that occurred like when the fest ended for MVP ticket holders, and they said like they are in love with Will Venable. He stood there and talked to them for 15 minutes, like
Oh, that's cool.
really got to know them and hung out with them. So they said there were
Gets
some
it.
drawbacks. There was like an MVP entrance, and they said it was already fucking cold outside, and they got ushered into a holding area that had no heat
Oh,
for a
ouch.
half hour that really did nothing to benefit them by having this early entry. So
I did.
that was something that was a bit of a negative, but overall they said it was a really positive experience with the way it was handled.
I do remember some coverage on 670 The Score inside the clubhouse. They were talking about that. People are a bit miffed that there wasn't any readable like parking very close to the venue, so they were shuttling fans from White Sox parking lots to the venue,
Yeah.
but they put them on like normal school buses.
Oh God.
Like it wasn't like
Good
they could have
Lord.
chartered a couple, nice real buses. But yeah, they were shuttling fans back and forth with regular school buses, which just seems kind of low rent. But that was one complaint I heard about it. But other than that, it's unfair. But people are posting pictures at the early in the evening of each night, and there was hardly anyone there. Like Len Casper, one of Len Casper's bands was playing, and there was like one guy rocking out in the whole area. But then I did hear that the place got packed within like 2 hours of that. So it wasn't like there are no White Sox fans interested anymore. As
Right.
the way people were trying to portray it on social media was a bit unfair. But uh, I'm glad. I mean, even though you don't attend, it just seems right for the Sox to have Sox Fest back. thought it was really gross that they neglected to do that just to kind of stay, distance themselves from the fans as much as they could as they were going through such a bleak period as it felt. I mentioned earlier, Jerry Reinsdorf was there, but he did not speak to the media, which was a really good idea considering what Tom Ricketts did in speaking to the media. So uh, I guess it's good it's back. I'm glad they had some 2005 White Sox. Glad to hear there's going to be a lot more 2005 recognition throughout the year, including the Burley statue. It's going to be fucking cool.